I'd like to send a special shout out and condolences to the good people of Australia. They lost a legend last week and didn't have time to acknowledge it on the show, but I'd like to do it here. R.I.P. to Jack Karlson, a.k.a. Cecil George Edwards, a.k.a. Johann Helmut Karlson. Yes, this man only wished to enjoy a succulent Chinese meal. He passed away of prostate cancer at the age of 82. We think everybody has seen Democracy Made Manifest, correct?
Not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what?
I've never seen this.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
And he's Australian?
Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis!
Did he just get finished eating Sean Connery?
Why did you do this? This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
People.
Why did you do this to me? Hop in the car. Get some cups. For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh,
They're not getting him in that headlock, dude.
I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off there. Ta-ta and farewell.
I've wasted my life.
It's
He's everything.
he is
Dude, he's like talking them to sleep. You know what I mean? He's like, all right, now let's just take it easy.
I've never seen
My limp penis.
Wasn't he getting arrested for a legitimate reason during this?
Being
God.
drunk and disorderly or something.
That's not a legitimate reason.
so I first became aware of this clip on episode 331 of this podcast because it was brought up by Ed Greer. This is like I guess a couple of years ago or maybe last year, and I didn't know what the hell he was talking about, and it's amazing. And just the way he says everything is perfect.
A succulent Chinese meal.
A meal, a succulent Chinese meal, like just like he's eating as he's talking.
He sounds like he's about to tell Batman how he's going to die.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you'll never stop me.
Look at you, Batman, looking at my limp penis. You wish it was hard. I'm not worried.
You'll never stop the penis people, Batman.
Get your hand off my penis.
It's just he's Bane without the mask.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, yeah.
Get your hand off of my limp penis.
Yeah. I sure know your judo well.
You know your judo well. A succulent Chinese meal, Batman.
So that segment was filmed in 1991, but went viral in 2009 when it was released. And I guess, I don't know if it just was maybe an Australian curiosity. And like I said, I didn't become aware of it till like a couple of years ago.
Other countries' cops can release bloopers because they don't always end in someone being shot.
Yes,
Right.
100%. That's funny. Yeah,
America has more footage of our police out there than anyone, but like cops can't do a like oopsie show.
Yeah.
Their body cams are like AFV material.
Yeah, they're like, here's the stuff we showed you, and you're like, you killed that guy. Like,
It's horrifying.
So Karlson, known in jail as Jack the Hun, was born Cecil George Edwards somewhere in Queensland and grew up in Brisbane, where his family life was kind of a mess.
Sure.
When biographer Mark Dappin once asked him for his parents' name, he said, "My father's name was Alphonsus and my mother's name was Ava Braun."
wow.
So
It's kind of cool to think that your dad cucked Hitler.
he was sent to a boys' home at the age of 7, and his boyhood was a Dickensian nightmare with time spent in institutions rife with sexual predators and bullies, followed by many various stints in Australia's most notorious jails, including time in the solitary confinement unit of Bago Road Jail, known as Black Peter.
Oh man, I imagine he started talking like that to stop the horrors.
Yeah,
because you want the. I assume predators are looking for fear.
Yeah.
Not some kid who's like, oh no,
Right.
the Dark Man is back.
Well, that chap I met yesterday, he's dead now.
Yeah. So in
Boy, they're gonna send you. Wait, what's the place again?
Black Peter.
Black Peter.
That's
So-
Is the name of the institution.
They're gonna send you down
prison?
to Black Peter, mate.
Yeah. So that.
I also know what. Yeah, that's what the fuck is wrong with Australia.
So in Shawshank, where they put him in solitary.
Yeah.
So their solitary is called Black Peter. In 1966, he was put on a train to face a burglary charge, and he was handcuffed to a cop who fell asleep. Karlson got out of the handcuffs and escaped by jumping off a moving train.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. This guy is fucking awesome.
He rules. I think
Yeah. Until we meet again.
Again, he just died.
He just died.
Like how long ago was this?
Last week is when he died, and he was 82.
So
And
how old was he in that footage?
81.
Well, it was 1991, so 82 minus however many years that is, 23.
I think if you escape by breaking out of handcuffs, you should get half your sentence reduced. But if you do it by breaking out of handcuffs and jumping off of a train,
Yeah.
freebie.
Well, and like he was handcuffed to a cop who fell asleep. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, you got to give that one up to the game, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you fucked up.
I mean, the cop falling asleep is kind of the most expected outcome.
Yeah. But then for the guy to get out of the cuffs while you're attached to him is fucking awesome.
I figured he's all but settled down now.
Yeah.
May as well take a nice little nap.
Have myself a nice sleeping pill.
He's not going to be a bother. Look at him. He's got an old mustache.
Yeah,
What's he
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
do? Jump in the spiders?
A year later, Karlson and another inmate fled McLeod Prison on French Island by swimming across Western Port Bay in Victoria.
What a charmed life this guy led.
They somehow convinced a fishing boat operator to take them to the mainland.
Everything about this is confirming everything I believe and know about Australia.
Well, it's actually disconfirming what I believe, because I feel like in my head, if you get in the water in Australia, you're just immediately torn to shreds by sharks and crocodiles.
Sure. But if you're on a boat in Australia and you just find a man,
Yeah.
he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'll take you where you're going.
Yeah, where do you want
I'm
to go?
on Smoko. Don't worry about it.
This is
Hey,
back in the 80s. So that shit's still flying.
Crocky, you broke out of Black Peter, did you?
Yeah.
my grandma died there. Had a knife.
Karlson's most audacious escape came in Sydney in 1968 when he walked out of the cells below Central Local Court by impersonating a detective, pretending to escort his co-accused to a hearing. So he's chained up to another guy, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm a cop," and then they just let him the fuck out.
Is this a good My Pillow guy?
Kind of.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I imagine the warden is just giddy every time he comes back, like, "This son of a bitch. I can't wait to see what's next."
Yeah, I mean, he probably is happy. He's
What
probably like a new scheme.
Yeah, I think there's the lasting story of this is that Australia will not try to shoot an escaping prisoner. These are all things you do if you're like, "There's no gods in the tower."
Well, that's the thing. Is like they assume correctly. It's like, we'll catch him eventually. Who gives a fuck? We either catch him or he gets torn to shreds by wild animals. Like, who gives a shit? Let him run.
So I think that's just an expected possible outcome of living in Australia.
Yeah.
They're like, you get 6 weeks of vacation every year because of the spiders.
And the brown snakes.
Getting sent to Black Peter for littering.
There were 3 escapes Karlson wanted to tell his biographer about, but there were other times he avoided custody. And this is his biographer. Quote, "He was always getting arrested, and he developed a tactic that whenever he got arrested, he would pretend that he's crazy. Sometimes Karlson would get naked during his arrests."
And then they have this one time in 1991 where he talked the fucking truth.
He says the reason he did this was he knew it would be easier to escape from a mental hospital than a jail. They'd put him in a mental hospital and he would just walk out. So
I'm good.
I'm just getting from this that like lying did not exist in Australia until 1991.
I think it was just respected.
Right.
Who was he before he did crimes?
That's it. He was a child.
He's a career criminal.
And then he
like
just-
literally, when you say career criminal.
Yeah. That's what he did.
I mean, where else is he going to get references?
Well,
streets.
he did have one other job during an early
Pies.
It's so much better than that. During an early 1970s stint in Parramatta for car theft, Karlson began performing in jailhouse plays.
Yes.
So he's an actor.
Yeah, I can see that.
man.
yeah.
Okay, the
That makes
accent makes
sense.
more sense
That's
now.
where the goddamn voice comes from.
He knows where to enunciate.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. It's so.
Karlson did time with heavy criminals, but he was never one of them. He did have a gunshot wound in his leg that he did not have a satisfactory explanation for.
I respect this man.
This guy fucking rules, dude.
That might be the most brave, like the coolest thing I've ever. Like, I don't know. You pick one up once in a while.
Yeah. Well, that's from his biographer
I
too.
just got
Like,
plugged.
like the guy's
He's
just
a biographer. He has a biographer?
Yeah, well, because so this shit goes viral, and then it took forever to figure out who the fuck this guy was because he just dropped off the map.
Sure.
Right.
And then
Like
they finally,
a good career criminal does.
Yeah.
They know how.
and they finally find him. He's back in like the greater Brisbane area, but kind of like living out in the country outside of Brisbane.
Smart.
And then, they send a biographer who wants to go write about him. And as we're going to to see. There's a lot of crazy shit that happened in this guy's life leading up to the thing he's known for.
Did they not make a movie about this man?
Not yet.
How the fuck did Chopper get made, but this didn't?
I know, right? Well, I'm hoping now that he's passed, supposedly there's a bunch of new stuff that he didn't want released until his death that's supposed to come out. So we'll have a better idea of where the gunshot came from.
Fair play. Here's my murders.
Yeah. Yeah.
You fine, mate?
That really might preclude a movie, but who knows?
You open up his time capsule and it's just full of bodies.
Yeah. So
There is the time that I beat a kangaroo to death.
That's. I mean, come on. Let's not talk.
that's how you become a man. That is that's the Australian version of the quinceañera for men. You know, when you turn 15, you have to beat a kangaroo. To death.
Kangaroos they give you like a 2-piece and then they kick you in the stomach and rip out your intestines.
Yeah, they're
They're
jacked.
nightmare creatures.
Yeah, they're horrifying
They're
creatures.
so upsetting.
They're like one of the most muscular animals.
They were like every country has like a gothic kind of like animal that shouldn't be, that you're like, oh, that's where werewolf folklore comes from.
Right.
And then Australia's like, oh yeah, we got rats that rip your guts out. Size of a man.
giant rats that are jacked like a man.
So after his release from jail, he met and married Yugoslavian-born Ivanka Jugum.
All right.
Unfortunately, this didn't last too long because Eve had
Time for me to take a bride.
Eve had previously been in a relationship with convicted double murderer Barry Quinn, a cult-like figure dubbed Australia's Charles Manson. And
This must have been before there was a bunch of people in Australia. It's like, you run in the criminal circles, don't you?
Eve remained under the spell of Quinn, and in November of 1978, she helped him escape from Fairfield Infectious Diseases Hospital with the help of a serial killer named Paul Haig.
I got an infectious disease, mate. I need to get out of Black Peter.
Well, she busted him out of Black Peter, and for her troubles, she got shot dead.
For the one time in his fucking guy's life, he's not involved in the interesting jailbreak.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Share fucking interests with your spouse. Like,
Well, my favorite is they include the next thing in this article, and you're like, why did we need to go down this rabbit hole?
gimme.
So the Charles Manson guy was killed in prison in July of 1984 after being covered in model glue and set afire by a serial killer named Alex Sackmakis. And in July of 1988, Alex Sackmakis was bashed to death in the same prison by the lead accomplice in something called the Russell Street bombing. And that's just not related to Succulent Chinese meal at all, but
I am really impressed that you found that much super glue in prison.
I know how much glue. That's so much
didn't know it was that
glue.
flammable.
No, it's super flammable, but like to light a whole man?
Yeah.
I guess you just put it in his hair.
Just a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
A little dabble do.
He doesn't notice. It's
Yeah.
smelling worse lately. I don't know what it is.
Also, like, how many dudes were mad that they couldn't huff that glue anymore?
I know, right?
I mean,
Yeah, you fucked up the whole supply, right? Light my mate on fire.
He killed Barry before he finished that story. Rude.
one little escape was huffing that glue.
So that brings us to October 11th, 1991. Jack is treating a friend to lunch at one of his favorite local restaurants, China Sea in Brisbane. He'd been there so many times that he'd often get a complimentary drink. And at the time, someone had been paying the restaurant using stolen credit cards. And there was an American Express investigator at the restaurant surveying. And according to a police detective, the investigator asked a restaurant worker about one of the names on the stolen cards, and he pointed at Karlson. And the investigator dropped the dime on him. The media somehow caught wind, and the rest is history. So that's what you see. And he claimed for the rest of his life that he didn't do it.
He's like, that's the one I didn't do.
Yes, straight up. And I love that about him, because whether he did it or not is
He did
irrelevant.
it. Come on, he fucking did it.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, whether he did it or not is irrelevant, because either way it's hilarious, because it's like a career criminal is like, no, the one I'm known for wasn't me.
Did he die of natural causes?
Prostate cancer.
My last adventure.
Yeah.
Prostate cancer.
Shouldn't have hit all those glowing watches up my bum.
So
That'll do it.
So Karlson was held in police custody and released on bail overnight and then disappeared. The mystery of Democracy Manifest's identity endured until he finally revealed himself in 2020. He always maintained his innocence in the Succulent Chinese meal incident. He lived a quiet life.
The Winnebago man.
Straight up. Yeah, it is. It's Australia's Winnebago man.
Imagine the game of telephone that viral video has to get to his shack in the middle of Brisbane.
Well, so
Or did
while
someone hunt him down?
a journalist found him,
Got it.
he revealed himself, and he lived his life
He
out.
revealed himself again?
Yeah, so he lived his life outside Brisbane as a painter, and all of his paintings were of two subjects. One, naked women, and
And now for the boobies.
and the other was him being arrested. So that video.
I want to see his art so much.
Oh yeah, I'll pull it up for you.
Please.
Yeah, so
It's like one of those painters like George W. Bush where it's like
No. He never killed anybody.
right. Yeah. Good point.
that's
Fair.
right. It's just him
He's a
being,
good painter.
Oh yeah, he's not bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you can see the nudes back there, and then him being arrested.
And I want to see the one of him being arrested while nude.
I think he did do like alternate versions where he's dressed differently sometimes. So it's like, what if it went down like this? You know?
Oh, this one I look at Baskin Robbins.
Yeah.
Here's me having sex.
With the corp and a naked woman.
You can tell it's a cop. I put an ice cream cone in his head. Hey,
Here's me slam dunking a basketball.
Yeah. But yeah, he died on August 7th, surrounded by family. They claim that he made several escape attempts during his hospital stay, and we think he was 82 years old.
I think it's like at that point you're just like, oh no, where did he go? I guess I better not turn this way. You just let
Right.
him do it. Is
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
totally.
Like,
Yeah.
he gets a kick out of it.
Absolutely. Anyway, shout out to the good people of Australia. That's a fucking hero right there.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your loss, but what does he say? Ta-ta,
Ta-ta, you penis-grabbing fiend.
as he's being taken away.
I'm just glad to know that St. Peter is no longer waiting for that lymphatic.
That's right, yes. Are you ready to receive my limp penis?
Succulent Chinese meal.
Chinese meal.
What a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh man, I would love to passionately make love to him just to hear his dirty tongue.
Right there. Thank you.
Give us a vigorous slap on the bum.